Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 9, entitled as Raja Vidya Rajaguhyam. Sloka 4 and 5, Part 2. Mayā tatam idaṁ sarvaṁ jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni na cāhaṁ teṣv avasthitaḥ na ca mat-sthāni bhūtāni paśya yogam aiśvaram bhūta-bhṛn na ca bhūta-stho mamātmā bhūta-bhāvanaḥ. Here the Lord says that He is pervaded in everything, both in sentient and non-sentient. The way that He pervades, no one can see Him. He resides in everything as antaryami. We often hear these terms antaryami, antaratma. Antaryami means one who enters in things and able to control those things. Antaratma means one who resides inside and carries that particular object. Antaryami means that which enters inside and execute things. Antaratma means that which resides inside and carries those things. Being antaratma, antaryami, it is only possible by the Supreme Lord, Krishna. We understood this in the last session with an example of sky. The sky is spread everywhere, it pervades everywhere, but it doesn't have the controlling power, executing power. The king has controlling power as well as execution part, but he cannot pervade everywhere. But it is Krishna who can do both simultaneously. Today we will see another example, a pillar and the ceiling. The ceiling which is supported by the pillar. Here in this example, the pillar which holds the ceiling is visible, drishtam, but it is not visible when it comes to Krishna. As he says in this sloka, he holds everything, but that is adrishtam, means we cannot see how Krishna holds everything together. And in the pillar and ceiling example, the second point is we can see that they together, it touches so that the pillar can support the ceiling, so that the ceiling can rest upon the pillar for the support. So we can see the union between these two, the connection. But when it comes to Krishna, that samyogam, the connection, the union part cannot be seen. The third point is the pillar which holds the ceiling only supports that particular portion of the ceiling. There are many such pillars, supports comes together and supports the entire ceiling. Whereas when it comes to the Lord, He is one who supports everything at the same time. Not that He is just supporting a portion of His creation. He supports everything. The fourth point is the pillar which is holding the ceiling has no power of execution. Whereas Krishna, who holds everything together, also as the execution part. The reason is because the pillar, though it holds the ceiling, it cannot enter into the ceiling itself. Whereas when it comes to Krishna, he holds everything together. At the same time, he is pervaded into those things as well. Therefore, he can execute actions. Therefore, he can control things. So that's the difference between the pillar ceiling compared to Krishna pervading, controlling and carrying everything. The way that Krishna does is through his sankalpa, not with physical some yogam, like how physically the pillar carries the ceiling, like how the glass or a pot physically carries the water, where we can see the union or a connection between both. When it comes to Krishna, he does it with his sankalpa. When Krishna says that everything is in me, it is confirmed that Krishna is the one who carries everything. When Krishna says nothing in me, it is to confirm that Krishna does all this through his sankalpa, not through some yogam. How do we understand this? Well, if we have to do some activities, we have to engage our body, legs, hands, tongue, etc. But when Krishna wants to do an activity, execute some activities, he does by his thought alone, which is what called as sankalpa. And this is only possible with the Supreme Lord, Krishna, not by anyone else. An example that we all can easily relate to is from Mahabharata. Krishna, residing in Dwaraka, supplied saris to Draupadi, who was in Hastinapur. This happened just by Krishna's sankalpa. He didn't have to come physically to provide the saris. So the very important point that we understand from this sloka is Krishna, when he says, I am not in them, they are not in me, in contradiction to Krishna when he said, everything is in me and I am in everything, is it's not the way the worldly things are. Everything is done through Krishna's sankalpa. And that is what has been confirmed in this sloka as mamātmā bhūta-bhṛnaḥ, which means by my will alone. That is called sankalpa. It is true that each individual atma, jivatma, also got the free will, but that is not the same when it comes to Krishna. Execution of our free will is completely depending on many factors. For example, while I am sleeping, my body is being protected by the Atma who is residing in the body by its essential nature. But when I walk on the street, closing my eyes, then the same Atma cannot protect me from falling into a ditch, because the intelligence to receive and see things has been shut off. But when it comes to Krishna, he is not depending on the senses like us to execute his will. Let's summarize what we have seen in this 2 sessions. Here Krishna says, I pervade in all the beings both sentient and non-sentient. All the beings exist in me. I am not in them. Nothing abides in me. They do not exist in me, meaning not like the water in a pot. I do not support them, meaning not the way that pot supports the water. It all happens through my will, sankalpa. This is a very unique and special, wonderful power that me, that is Krishna alone has, which cannot be seen anywhere else. I sustain all the entities. I do not exist in them, meaning my will alone supports and directs everything. So the simple way to understand is there is no contradiction. The way that Krishna is explaining here is for us to understand that the way that he pervades, the way that he controls, the way that he executes things is not like the usual way that we see in the world with objects. He does everything, but not like the worldly thing. He does everything by his sankalpa matra, just by his sankalpa, by his will alone. Mayā tatam idaṁ sarvaṁ jagad avyakta-mūrtinā mat-sthāni sarva-bhūtāni na cāhaṁ teṣv avasthitaḥ na ca mat-sthāni bhūtāni paśya me yogam aiśvaram bhūta-bhṛn ca bhūta-stho mamātmā bhūta-bhāvanaḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.